Hey everyone,
We're Ferraro.
and you're watching the Permanent Rain Press.
Hi everyone, it's Chloe with the Permanent Rain Press, and today I'm happy to be joined by Ferraro. How's it going?
Good.
What's up?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for taking the time to sit here with us. It's been a busy couple of weeks for you on the West Coast. Concerts, press tour, tell me about this whole experience.
Yeah, it's been great so far. It's our first time going to a lot of these cities in Western Canada. We started in Calgary and did a few shows in Alberta, and then kind of looped all the way through BC, doing Vancouver, Victoria, Kelowna, and Nelson. And yeah, we've had some great shows and visited a lot of radio stations and met a lot of cool people. It's been great.
So I was listening to an interview you did, and Cosmo does most of the driving, but it was funny, you guys were like, oh, he acts like he's doing you a favor.
Oh, yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, for
It's
starters,
true.
I am doing them a favor.
Well, I would more than be happy to drive, but he doesn't let us.
he's not a good driver.
Well,
They're both not good drivers?
He's not allowed to drive because
Okay.
you have to be
Rental,
25 on a rental car.
Yeah.
Okay.
he's run over a motorcyclist before, so.
That is not true.
Is this something that no one else knows about?
He had a suspended license for some time.
Not true.
Does that
It's
mean
not
you
true.
also get to control the music though?
No.
Okay.
No, music is usually up to the passenger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a mix. What have you been listening to on the road?
Some podcasts.
Oh yeah, the Ron Burgundy podcast.
It was
Yeah,
terrible.
it's not very good.
Really bad. Couldn't even get through the first one.
But Will Ferrell, if you're listening, we'd like to meet you.
Hopefully,
He's
I don't know if he's in
definitely
Western
listening.
Canada.
He's
but-
definitely listening.
So I wanted to talk a bit about your roots. You've had family ties to the Cameron House in Toronto for nearly 40 years now. What was it like growing up with that exposure to live local music?
It was very interesting. I think that's kind of the reason we play music ourselves. Our parents never played music, but they're very supportive of it. And just being kind of brought up surrounded by live music, we would go and see a lot of bands and see a lot of shows of different genres and different styles of music. It just kind of opens you up to that world. And I guess, you know, without intentionally like putting us into it, I guess that kind of is the reason we're playing music ourselves.
But you've been creating music together for years now. Are you all on the same page, or do you ever, work your way through creative differences during the process?
Yeah, I mean, there's creative differences for sure. I think we have the ultimate goal, and we're aligned on a lot of things, but there's certainly issues that come up.
I mean, it helps we're all sort of on the same level. We all listen to the same music, and like our favorite bands all line up. So when we're creating music, we just like, if someone enjoys the sound of it, usually since we have the same style, we all will like the same thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's specifics that we can sometimes argue about, but overall we come to, an agreement and like the sound of a direction, and we all follow the same path, and seems to be working.
And you're gearing up for the release of a new EP on Warner Music Canada. What
Mhm.
details can you share about that?
We just released our first single, You Look Good Like That, which is off the EP. And then the full EP is going to be called Fool's Paradise, and it should be coming out later this year. And yeah, we're hoping to play a whole bunch more shows in support of that, and happy to finally release this first set of music through Warner.
So You Look Good Like That, a great song. I think it has like a dynamic modern pop rock feel. Can we expect a similar vibe across the EP?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the overall feel of it. Just fun tunes that are easy to dance to.
You've had the opportunity to perform alongside, open for great Canadian acts, Arkell, Sam Roberts Band, Megan Patrick. How inspiring is it to play alongside them, and just what are your current thoughts on the landscape of the Canadian music scene?
Yeah, the Canadian music scene is great. I think it's really thriving and important right now. There's tons of great bands, and they're finding success far beyond Canada, across North America and the world. Canadian bands are amongst the top. Getting to share shows and opening and experiences with those kind of bands that we look up to and we're aiming for and want to be there one day was great. We learned a whole bunch of stuff, seeing kind of nuances of how they shape their set and how they get ready and how they interact with the audience was a big thing for us to learn from, for sure.
Yeah, it's cool when you've paid money to see these bands and you kind of grow up listening to them and then you get to play shows with them. It's a cool experience for sure.
And in less than a week, you'll be in Saskatchewan and playing the Juno Cup once again. Where did this
Correct.
passion for hockey come from?
Well, we all grew up playing it. I mean, we were born and raised in Toronto, so sort of every kid sort of grows up learning to skate when they're young, and then we all became goalies and played in the GTHL. And so now we get to play, combine our two passions, music and hockey in the Juno Cup. It's pretty perfect.
And you guys are all fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs hometown team.
That's
Who
true.
is your favorite player on the current roster?
Oh, on the current roster, it's gotta be Matthews. Just scores all the goals.
Yeah. Him or Anderson, I like the goalie too. Gotta root for the goalie.
Yeah.
I'm a Matthews guy as well.
Oh, no love for, I don't know who, Marner.
Yeah, good too.
Marner's had a
Hyman.
rough season.
Marner signed a big contract and
he's
then
not
folded
having
in
a
this
great
year. I
season.
don't know.
Hyman's doing well this year. He's having a good year.
Yeah. You think they're gonna hang on to third in the Atlantic?
I think they're
Place your
going
bets
to.
now.
I mean, I cross my fingers, but I think they're going to. Yeah.
Are you a Canucks fan?
Yes.
I was at the
Canucks
Canucks
Habs.
game last night.
Oh, did only you go? Or?
Yeah, I went by myself.
Well, they lost, so.
Yeah,
It was a good game. It was a
Yeah.
good game though. I think the refs weren't on their side last night. There were some bad calls.
Yeah. Something very cool. You guys also played hometown hockey back in 2018. That must have been a surreal experience.
Yeah, that was very cool. We it kind of lined up with the release of our previous single, "Can You Feel It?" And yeah, we got to perform that song on air, and that was a pretty cool experience. And we got to meet Ron McLean for the first time, and he's great. And yeah, it was fun. It was in Markham, Ontario, which is kind of just outside of Toronto. Yeah, it was a great day. It was really cold.
I can imagine.
We had to play before we filmed the on-air single. We did a half-hour set, and by the end of it, it was too cold.
Well, at least you were done playing the music, and that's what was
Yeah.
the important part.
We all tried to dress so cool. I was in like a t-shirt. He was just in like a small. And then our guitar player had like the full winter coat and scarves and gloves, just taking no chances. Just
He wasn't gonna get it.
And he got the last laugh. We were all freezing.
yeah, but now he's fired, so we got the last laugh.
So now we're gonna play a game called How Well Do You Know Your Bandmates?
Uh-oh.
Okay, if you hear your name in the prompt, you'll be answering the question last.
Okay.
Okay.
What is Cosmo's go-to Starbucks order?
Americano.
Drip coffee.
I mix it up between those two things.
Okay, so you both get a point there.
Wait, what's the game? We both answer it, and then the guy.
And then I
Yeah.
give the
Okay, so
right
we did it,
answer.
right?
Yes.
So if Gianni walked into Eaton Center, the first store he'd visit would be.
Ooh,
Food court.
the food court. Yeah.
Yeah.
No stores, no shopping, just.
No.
just
No,
regular store.
I don't like shopping, but I like food.
Okay. Okay.
And he
what
loves
food
food
stall?
Oh.
We'll go more specific.
If they got a Mr. Sub, I think he's going
That's
there.
yeah, that's a good one.
The mall
Uh,
food courts don't usually have Mr. Sub though.
He knows. Any of like the pick your own box type thing where there's like
Like a
noodles
Chinese
and then,
food, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah, walk and roll.
walk and roll. It's good stuff.
Okay, what is Tally's favorite breed of dogs?
Oh. A cat. He doesn't like dogs.
Chihuahua, Jack Russell.
We did have a Chihuahua Jack Russell growing up.
3
but,
legs.
That's not a good dog.
Overall, I would say I don't like dogs.
But you have to pick a breed.
A breed?
Would it be a Great Dane? I have
No,
two Great
definitely
Danes. and he
not a
hates
Great
them.
Dane.
Yeah, probably Great Dane though, right?
Just the quietest thing that will mind its own business.
Okay, so I think the consensus is you guys know each other pretty well. I mean, you grew up
Yeah,
together.
it's true.
Okay, lastly, our signature question. If each of you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
Cotton candy, because who doesn't like cotton candy? It's just so fun.
Universal,
It's
yeah.
so fun.
Chocolate, because then my dad would love me.
I don't know, does he not love you right now?
Wow.
What? That was a good answer.
I can't top those. I'll just go vanilla straight down the line, right
You're
down the middle,
boring.
because they already got the good
Basic
answers.
flavor. Okay, well that was a great metaphor kind of thing. Like,
Kind of thing.
Metaphor, really.
maybe, I don't know. I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time to chat. Really
Thanks for having
appreciate
us.
it. Ferraro's single You Look Good Like That is out now, EP coming later this year, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Rolling in.
We are Ferraro. He did the full countdown.